Hello everybody and welcome to another amazing video of DIY investing. Today we are going to be breaking down one of my favorite new ecosystems that I am so confident is going to be providing some of the biggest gains over the next 3 to 6 months. We're going to be looking at the fundamentals, the tokenomics, and the reasons why this altcoin is going to be blowing up much bigger than the rest in the market. And then to finish this video, I'm going to be breaking down 4 of my favorite altcoins built in this chain that I think are going to be providing some of the biggest gains when this market blows up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you find any value in this video, please do me a favor, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. And without further ado, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, here we are to start off today's video, and we're going to be going through TRON and its ecosystem, explaining why I believe that this is going to be one of the #1 cryptos that you could be looking into, why this ecosystem is going to be providing some of the bigger gains over the next few months, and we're going to go through all of those details, because at the end of the day guys, this channel is called DIY Investing with the one intention of making sure that you guys that watch this channel know how to be positioned and prepared to early narratives before they ever blow up. TRON is a crypto that most people have forgotten about, most people don't even care about ever since it was added in the 2017 cycle, and now most people are overlooking any of the opportunity that is currently being presented on this chain. I wanted to go through, explain why this thing is going to be blowing up in such a big way, and then finishing up by going through the analysis and giving you guys 4 of my favorite altcoins built on TRON that I think are going to be providing some massive returns very soon. Right off the bat guys, before we get into any of the price action of TRON, I wanted to go through and talk about some of the details for why we're seeing the price of TRON blowing up in such a big way. We look over here and see the price of TRON sitting all the way up here at these range highs, and it's actually front running many different projects out there in the crypto market. The reason why is because TRON has some of the best tokenomics out of the entire market. What we're looking for when we're buying tokens is something with a deflationary token model and an insane amount of burn rate that is ultimately going to cause the price to rise higher, as well as in the bear markets sell off less. These are the best things that we're looking at in the market, because anything with deflationary tokenomics performs much better. And if we look at the total supply of TRON, ever since the ending of 2019, we can see that the supply of TRON has been ever shrinking. This is exactly what you want to see. And the interesting thing about these supply shrinks is we have some of the biggest deductions in our supply during the bear markets. Notice here that in 2022, we saw the biggest sell-off inside of the TRON supply that we've ever had. The reason why is because as everybody is rushing to the exits to begin panic selling, we're actually having so much of that supply being burned completely. So when you have all of these people panic selling, it means that the price actually ends up correcting less in the bear market. Notice here guys, TRON, from the peak of that 2022 cycle, or 2021, all the way down to the bottom of the bear market, was only about 75%. Many altcoins corrected 85, 95+%, only for them to never really recover. So one of the best things that we're going to see inside of altcoins that have these deflationary models is that they end up performing better in the bull market because there's less supply, so there ends up being a lot more buy support. And then inside of the bear market, they correct less because so much of that supply is getting sucked off the market entirely. And that's really why we've seen TRON performing so well up to this point. If we're looking at the total supply, the biggest deduction that we saw was in that 2022 bear market, where we actually ended up seeing 101 billion total supply of TRON, and then just in the course of about 6 months, it corrected all the way to 92 billion. And now we're currently sitting at about 86 billion. So the supply of TRON is constantly shrinking, and that is what we want to see long term. Now, if we're looking over here and we're looking at the TRON that is generated as well as burned, the total amount of TRON added is around 5 billion every single day. However, the amount that is lost or burned is about double that. Anywhere from about 11 to 15 million total TRON are going to be burned every single day. And that's been the case every single year up to this point. If we come all the way back to basically 2023, over the last couple years, we've basically only ever seen TRON being burned about twice as much as what is created. However, over the last month, we saw 34 million TRON being burned and only 5 million being added to the supply, and a net loss of almost 30 million TRON. So TRON is massively deflationary. It's got a huge burn rate, and we're seeing record-breaking burns taking place over the last month. Now guys, one of the most important ways that we can actually dictate how much value is inside of a chain, how much volume is being added as a whole, are coming over over here and looking at DeFi Llama and actually taking a look at all of the top chains in crypto, because this is going to give you guys an idea of where Tron ranks with all of them. If we're looking at the top 1 and 2 based off of total value locked on all chains, you're going to see Ethereum at number 1 and Tron at number 2. The next biggest competitor is Solana, and it's got substantially less TVL than even Tron does. And the real reason why we're seeing so much new record-breaking volume from Tron, ever since the Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao had to resign and Binance was slapped with a $4 billion fine. Inside of that move, we saw a lot of shifts taking place in crypto. Binance was the big leader in China, and that started to shift the second that they kind of had to step down. Once CZ stepped down and were hit with that Binance lawsuit, we saw a lot of new volume kind of entering over here into the Tron ecosystem. And we can see that based off of this chart. If we pull up Tron, we can see that the volume has only been breaking out over this last year. And really in the last couple months, the price of Tron and the volume of Tron has been breaking out substantially. When we're looking at the total transactions taking place, Tron's transactions have been blowing up ever since 2023. Really mid-2023, we've seen substantial rises in new volume. On top of that, if we're looking at the stable coins, Tron has more stable coins than almost every other chain out there. Tron quietly becomes the leading blockchain for stablecoin transfers. This was in mid-2023, almost at the exact same point that we see all of this new record-breaking volume coming in here. Tron has become one of the leaders for stablecoin transactions. And if we look over here, the stablecoin market cap on Tron is currently sitting at almost $60 billion. That is a massive valuation for stablecoins on the Tron ecosystem. And what it really shows that there's a lot of profit being generated from people actually earning off of stables. People are yield farming off of these stables, and they're earning a lot of profit in return. So all of the data that we're looking at here is very much bullish. The biggest competitor to Tron has always been Binance, and with them having all of their legal issues over the last year, it's really bolstered a lot of new volume and growth. Today, I wanted to go through, map out the price of Tron, and really help you guys to visualize why this thing is going to be blowing up in such a big way. We looked at the fundamentals. We can see that massive amounts of Tron are being burned, and not only that, but we're having record-breaking volumes all at the same time. Volume precedes price. If we're seeing record-breaking volumes, we're going to start to see the price of Tron pick up as well. And already it has. If we're looking all the way back at the last cycle, or what I should say, the first cycle of 2017, Tron has never made a new all-time high from that point. But if we're looking at this consolidation, we've been in this massive triangle basically since that 2017 cycle. We can come all the way over here and kind of look at this. We've been consolidating inside of this triangle. Now, the truth is we've successfully broken outside of that resistance, right? Broke out of that over here in 2023, and we've only been consistently maintaining higher highs and higher lows throughout that time. Exactly what you want to see in a long-term cycle. Now, also, if we come over here, we're pretty much just sitting right around that range high from our last cycle where we peaked at in 2021. And we're sitting right at that point awaiting a breakout, right? Because up to this time, if we're looking at Tron, we've just maintained higher highs and higher lows. Every time we make a breakout, we retest that same level as new support. And that's pretty much been the case every single one of these higher highs that we've made ever since we bottomed at the end of 2022. So if Tron has been maintaining higher highs and higher lows, and we're currently sitting right on top of that same resistance as new support, I lean towards us actually making our first true breakout above the prior range highs from the last cycle and starting that next big leg up all the way to the 2017 prior all-time highs. The reason why I'm telling you guys about this right now is because as we're seeing all of the data being very bullish, all of the tokenomics are very much deflationary. So much of that supply is getting yanked out every single day, and we're looking at the price almost at the point of making a new all-time high. It's inside of this breakout that the majority of the profit is going to be made. I'm not directly going out and telling you guys you need to invest into Tron, because if we look at Tron, Tron's got a market cap of 13 billion. That's pretty high. So the odds of you getting 100x out of Tron are very, very much low. Don't get me wrong, you could still see a 10 to a 30x, maybe something like that in a really hyped cycle, but the idea of getting 100x or 1000x is just not going to happen inside of the price of Tron. As bullish as I am in the price of Tron, I think that the real opportunity is going to be trading the altcoins that are built on Tron when Tron does this move right here, because I am anticipating that the second that we get above this range high from the last cycle, we're going to be making a very quick impulsive move all the way up to that 2017 prior all-time high. And it could just continuously go up even further. We could just go vertical. And it's inside of that move that you want to have your bags positioned. If we're looking at Binance Coin, Binance spent a long time just kind of consolidating, not really doing a heck of a lot. We were just maintaining this uptrend, higher highs and higher lows, but we really weren't doing a heck of a lot besides making these short little impulses. We started that next big breakout. We were just slowly grinding on that trend line. The second that we got outside of those prior all-time highs, we made an absolutely massive breakout. And I don't know if TRON is going to be having quite the same significance of a breakout like what we saw with Binance Coin. But if TRON is going to do anything close to that, it still will just be as legendary. It's not really going to matter that much, right? Once TRON gets outside of this range high, I think that we're going to be starting a very parabolic type of a move. And you know, guys, this thing might only go to $1. And that might be the end of it. It might not need to go up a 30x or anything crazy like that. But if we're looking at the price of TRON making that vertical of a move into price discovery, we have to be aware that many of the altcoins built on TRON are going to be making life-changing returns. Which is why for the rest of this video, I wanted to actually map out some of my favorite altcoins on the TRON ecosystem that I think are going to be providing the biggest gains over this cycle. Right off the bat, guys, these are all going to be meme coins because the top projects on TRON I just don't think are going to do as well as the meme coins built on TRON. And that's just the truth of the matter. Up to this point, it's been a meme coin dominated cycle, and I do expect that we're going to continue to see memes as a whole be that speculative sort of investment that a lot of people consolidate their bets into. Now, Sundog, to me, has everything that you want to look for. We're right at the verge of a breakout into a new all-time high, and that's really where I think a lot of price appreciation is going to be made. Anybody that's getting invested in before this new all-time high breakout, I think that that's really where the profit is going to be made, and really that's what we're waiting for. Even if we made one more low and corrected back down in here, as long as we get back above this resistance level being about 32 cents, that's where I think that this thing is going to set up for an absolutely massive breakout very soon. In the shorter time frames, we've only made that first little rally once we got listed and added to exchanges. We already finished that correction, which is what we've done over in here. Now that we're kind of starting that next leg up and retesting resistance, I don't think that we're very far off from getting that breakout. And this is one that at $300 million fully diluted, it's got higher market cap than many other meme coins out there, but this is going to be the biggest meme coin on TRON. So the odds are this thing could actually outperform the majority of the other memes out there. This might already have that first mover advantage. And if that's the case, many of the top meme coins on these other chains are already worth multiple billions of dollars. So I wouldn't be surprised for this to hit a 10x at $3 billion total market cap. I think that that's a reasonable target. And I do think that if we're going to see all of this new money coming into TRON when this thing starts breaking out, then I think that Sundog is probably going to be the first altcoin or meme coin on TRON to really see a lot of upside potential. If we're looking at Dog with Hat, that was the top meme coin over on Solana, being worth multiple billions of dollars. I don't see why Sundog or some of these other meme coins on TRON can't do the same thing. When we're looking at TRON's TVL being almost twice as much as Solana, it really gives me a lot of confidence that we could actually see one of these meme coins on TRON be worth more than a Solana meme coin. There's plenty of money to go around over here on this chain. Now, the next up is going to be a little bit more speculative, and that's going to be TRON Bull. It's sitting down here at a lower point in price, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing actually retest the support again before going up. But this is another one of those that's got good structure. We've only ever finished one cycle. So we had our first little impulse to start this move, 1, 3, and 5 waves up. We already finished our ABC correction back down. We're pretty much at that point of reversing right here. Whether we get one more retest at this support before that happens or not, it doesn't really change anything for me. I'm still anticipating that this one's going to be making a reversion. However, this one has 105 million in total market cap. So it's a little bit more high than some meme coins, but it's about twice as less as the last one, is Sundog. So it has a little bit more room for upside potential. If we were to go just to the range high from where we're at right now, you're looking at about a 3x gain, which is pretty solid. You know, this is one of those that could do a 10x and hit that $1 billion in total market cap, considering it's already kind of got that first mover's advantage. The second that this thing reverses out of this low, that's where I think that this thing is going to run for a really quick sort of impulse. And I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ran all the way up to those range highs, pulled back, flipped this 20 cent region right there, And then that's really where the new upside into new all-time highs comes in. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards with a lot of these, because when we're looking at the top altcoins on Tron, there's not a lot of them out there. There's only a handful. And this is the biggest, being SUNDOG, and then the next in line is going to be TRON Bull. So if these two are going to continue to lead, I do think that the bottom is very close to T-Bull as a whole. Next up is going to be SUNCAP. This is arguably the best looking chart out of all the other ones I just shared, and it's only got 14 million in total market cap. So the market cap is really, really low. And we've already broken from our resistance. This is the main thing I was watching for. We've already cleared our downtrending resistance, and that's what we've done just recently. I wouldn't be surprised if we came back down to retest that downtrending resistance as new support right around 0.011. However, the second that we end up retesting that, I do think that we're going to get a quick buyback, and this thing could very easily be doing something like this very soon. If that's the case, I'd expect a short impulse or a quick impulse into a new all-time high. We'd probably correct back down onto support of that prior all-time high, and then the real upside would set in after. This is generally the way that these lower market cap cycles are going to start. We've only ever finished that first little market cycle and correction back down. We have good volume in here. We've already broken from downtrending resistance. I honestly think that the lowest this will go is one more correction to retest that trend line as new support before that new all-time high kind of sets in. So this is one of my favorites. I think it does have the best looking chart out of all of those I just shared with you up to this point. And the market cap is pretty low. This is the type that has low market cap, and it's got, you know, not as much competition as other chains out there. I think that this thing could actually move in a big way. Overall, if we were to come back down and retest that trend line, to the prior range highs is going to be like a 2x, so the ROI in the shorter time frames isn't going to be as high, but keep in mind that the market cap is a lot smaller. So we're holding this one in anticipation for what happens when we go into price discovery, because this thing only has to hit $140 million in market cap, and we're already at that 10x. You know, that's pretty much the market cap of this one, and that's half the market cap of SUNDOG. So these ones are going to have a lot more room for upside potential, and that's why I think that SUNCAP, being such a massive, being much more undervalued than SUNDOG and kind of being a play off of the same altcoin, I really do think that SUNCAP's going to run in a big way, and we may have an opportunity of actually accumulating this one on a dip lower before that big breakout sets in. Last one on today's video is going to be SUNWukong. This is another one of those that I think has an absolutely legendary chart. If we come out, go to a log scale, we have very clear Elliott wave structure. Wave 1, Wave 3, and Wave 4, and Wave 5. And then all we've done ever since Wave 5 was complete our ABC correction back down. So we've finished everything that we need to see for our Elliott wave count. On top of all of that, we've finished our next little impulse right here. We've got breaking volume that's, you know, arguably bigger than even at the cycle top. And then we have a new subwave count right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Extended wave 5, and then we had our secondary. I believe we're inside of this ABC right now. I think we're going to make one more lower low back down to the bottom of this wave 4 support at 0.009, and then from there we're going to finally end up reversing and starting that next big breakout, because this one, you know, we've already finished the correction. We're kind of working on the breakout of our downtrending resistance right here. That's kind of what I'm looking at this as. And so the second that we bottom from this wave C, that's going to be taking us into a breakout outside of this downtrending resistance. That'll be happening right here. And then from there, I honestly think that we're going to get pretty much just new all-time highs. I don't think we're going to wait around for very long. These only have 13 million in total market cap, 800K liquidity. So honestly, if you're looking at the safest 10x, it's hard to say what's safest. It's all speculative at the end of the day. But in my opinion, SUNCAP and SUNWukong are two of my favorites based off the charts, and they have a much lower market cap. So I think that the odds are a little bit better with these ones. However, I still think SUNDOG and I still think that TRON Bull can both do a 10x. The only difference is these have higher market cap. So the amount of profit potential, it's already been squeezed out a little bit, whereas with these other ones, SUNCAP and SUNWukong, they have yet to really have that big run yet. So I think that these are going to be set to be the best meme coins to buy on Tron. At the end of the day, it's not financial advice, it's just what I'm doing with my portfolio, but I do see so much value to be made inside of the Tron blockchain between all of this bullish price action that we've seen, between this massive deflationary tokenomics, when we're looking at the supply ever shrinking ever since we've had data to pull off of. We're looking at Tron being the leader for all of the stablecoin transfers. We're looking at Tron having higher TVL than virtually all of the other chains out there. And now you're looking at the CEO of Binance and Binance getting slapped with that massive fine. It's really kind of coinciding with bullish. It's really just pushing more money to go into TRON than ever before, because TRON is really the biggest competitor to Binance. It's the biggest Chinese altcoin aside from Binance, and there's many reasons for why I think it's going to blow up in a big way. So if you guys want to check out the meme coins, I'm going to link them in the description for you guys to be able to find them. If you want to know how to actually bridge your funds to TRON, I will link a YouTube video in the description that's going to actually teach you guys how to do that for anybody that wants to go through and buy these. And once again, to finish up, anybody that wants to see what I'm buying, selling, trading over this entire cycle, which new chains I'm investing in before I ever talk about them on YouTube, you got to join the Discord server. Only way to get access to that is to sign up on my website, linked below in the description of this video. From there, you're going to be able to get full lifetime access into my private group. Anything I'm buying, selling, trading over our entire cycles, as well as when I take profits and move profit into new investment markets like gold, uranium, silver, all of those things. If you guys want to be able to see how I'm investing, which companies I'm investing into, links are in the description. Go ahead and sign up on my website, link below. With that being said, thank you so much for the support. I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace out.